Hello and welcome to our first Premier League 2024-2025 video. Now, I didn't say it, but this is going to be the home of Premier League content this year. So subscribe to the channel and you're going to see a lot of Premier League stuff this year. But let's kick us off with this season's predictions. Danny, can you give me... Let's go with your bottom three. 20th, 1st, 19th and 18th, please.
We're getting straight into it.
Yep.
Do you want all three of mine, or are we going one at a time?
Let's go one at a time.
Bottom for me.
Yep.
It's newcomers Ipswich.
Oh, I had the same. And
it's sad.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think that they're going to... I don't know if there's enough talent out there for them to spend it in a way that's going to get them above 20th.
Yeah. The thing is, I would love for them to stay up. Like, love for them to
it'd
stay
be
up.
brilliant.
It would be like Luton last year. Would have loved it for them two to be in the Premier together. Didn't happen, but I do think they'll get the same fate. I think they have a few big wins at home where the crowd is like behind them and they do well. But I don't think it'll be enough to get them, and I think they're bottom for me. I've gone for that as well.
The Luton of Suffolk. You want me to go 19th?
Yes, please, 19th place.
It's a team who's been in the Premier League for a few consecutive years, and I think they drop out now. And that is Nottingham Forest.
Ooh, interesting call. Now, a little spoiler alert. The five above Ipswich can be interchangeable in my opinion. But I have gone for Southampton.
I'll be honest, I'm pretty firm on all of mine. Southampton, that's sad, because I have a little bit of a soft spot for the club. I have a family member who supports them.
Yep.
I think they're generally a nice place. It's the only Premier League... it's one of two of these Premier League grounds that I haven't visited. Ipswich being the other one.
I visited Southampton. Good stadium for an away game, but I think they'll go down.
St Mary's.
I don't know if they've got the quality to stay up, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I can see that, but I just think the club, if you look past the manager and the players, the club and possibly the owner, I don't know how long they've been there, no Premier League a little bit.
I get what you mean. I get exactly what you mean. It's
so I think they might... Yeah.
Yeah, but you're saying Forest to go down, aren't you?
I'm saying Nottingham Forest. I think they see quite a few players leave this window, and I don't think that, again, similar thing to Ipswich, I don't know that in their budget there's the right players to keep them in the Premier League, to bring in, I mean. Yeah,
it'd be interesting to see if they keep hold of Gibbs-White and sort of Hudson-Odoi. They've been pretty good last season. I wonder how they keep. But your final relegation space, please.
I've gone for Bournemouth.
Ooh,
that might be a bit of a rogue one. The reason, main reason... I don't think Solanke's staying.
Yeah, and
I don't know what else is keeping them up.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see your vision. I have gone for a bit of a slight, not outrageous one, but I think Leicester, new manager.
Wow.
Yes, they are familiar with the Prem, and yes, they've got a few ex-Prem players that have come through. They've lost a couple of big players in this window. I just don't see them staying up. And to be honest with you, 3 teams coming up, going back down, isn't that uncommon. So I have gone for the 3 to come up to go straight back down. Boring old Premier League season in terms of relegation. Those are the bottom 3 for me.
Right, my 17th now.
Yep.
I would consider quite a hot take.
Go on.
Crystal Palace.
No, I'm not having that.
I'm think not having that at Elise's gone.
Yep.
Is Eze staying? I don't know. But he's not got his attacking partner anymore. And I think that they have a little bit of a crumble. I just don't think that they score many goals this season.
I think they've got a good team. I'm not going to spoil it, but they're nowhere near 17th for me.
Well, there you go. That's
Palace
a hot take.
Is a hot take. I think they've got some good
Comment
players.
below if you agree or disagree with that.
But what I will say is, my theory is that Glasner will do really well at Palace. Midway through the season, he'll get signed by somebody else, and then Palace will start to freefall. But I don't think they'll be 17th place. My 17th place is Fulham.
Okay.
I think
well, I'm going to go straight to my 16th, which is Fulham, because I think we could both agree there.
Interesting.
I think they stay up. I love Fulham. They're my second team, if you're allowed to have one.
Right.
My granddad's team. I like the club. I like everything about them, the ground.
Never been to the inside of Craven Cottage.
Craven Cottage, nice. They're redoing it as well. They're making a swimming pool up on the top.
If
where
you want to see us go for a
from.
swim at Craven Cottage, comment below.
Yeah, do that, by the way.
We're not rich enough to make it happen, but we'll make it happen.
No, I feel like we will do that.
Yeah,
I don't think you have to be that rich to go swimming.
We'll do it.
We'll do that.
My 16th place is Forest.
Yeah.
For what we kind of said in relegation terms, I think they've got good quality. May lose a couple of players, still the window is still open. but I don't think they're bad as the bottom three that go down. So I think I've got them safe.
My 15th is Leicester, so another one that you've had recently crop up. I think they stay up, again, with the Southampton sort of thought process that they sort of know what they're doing in the league a little bit, the club. I think they've got Premier League quality players already in the squad. Not the whole squad, but I think, for example, Ipswich, I'm not sure if they have any Premier League players, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
So yeah, I've gone 15th, I've gone Leicester.
I would like for a team, if a team was to stay up, I'd rather it be Ipswich. So I don't like the Leicester shouts there. My 15th place is Bournemouth, for the basis that I think they've done pretty well last year, but they will lose Solanke. Yeah. It will be impacted.
They will.
But like I say,
and the amount of goals he scored.
Yeah. I do feel like a lot of this bottom 6 or 7 can be very easily interchanged by the last month of the window.
Okay.
Like, there's still, as of recording this, 20 plus days of the transfer window to go. A lot can happen. Big players can join, big players can leave. But I do think Bournemouth 15th place, they'll struggle without Solanke. If he does leave, he hasn't been confirmed to leave yet. If he does leave, he'll struggle.
But he has got a release clause of 60 million.
Yeah,
which I think clubs would be willing to pay for. 14th for me, I've gone Southampton.
Oh, that's pretty high. Is that because you're biased?
Yeah, no, because I put Fulham at 16th.
Ah, so why have you got
Southampton? And I prefer Fulham to Southampton.
What gives you the Southampton vibes?
I don't know. I think it's a bit of nostalgia. I'm thinking back to when I was younger and watching Southampton, and they were sitting in that sort of position.
Right. Okay.
And I can see the redemption arc of the town of Southampton.
Yeah. Okay. You think it would bring joy back to the town rather than the actual?
Yeah, I think the pubs will start opening on Saturdays again. I think tourism will be flying.
Mm-hmm. The ports will be busy with Southampton in the Premier League again. I tell you that for sure. What won't be very busy though is Everton in 14th place for me.
That's a good shout, and I've just seen where I've put Everton, and I maybe would change mine.
Where did you put them originally?
Well, no, I'm sticking with it.
It's locked. Okay, we'll find out soon.
They're locked in.
Okay, but Everton
I might have gone a bit... Because how I did it was I just put a name on.
Yep.
And then I went higher or lower for that team, higher or lower, and just worked it out.
I've done that with a lot of
I think
teams.
Everton maybe came off quite well.
Yeah, I think Everton, I wouldn't be against them going down. Been a fan of it the last few seasons, if I'm honest with you. Sorry, Everton fans, if you are watching this. Also, if you're watching this, let us know down below what your Premier League table predictions are, of course. But 14th place Everton, not really much to say about them, to be honest. I just think they're going to be a bang average side. We'll do a couple of big upsets, like always. But will be really inconsistent throughout the year. 14th place Everton for me.
13th, I've gone for Brentford.
Oh,
I quite like Brentford.
Snap.
Yeah, I quite like Brentford.
Yep.
As a place, it's a nice stadium. It's a nice area.
Yep.
I think their squad seems Premier League. It's not gonna get in anywhere near Europe. I don't think they're gonna get relegated. I think 13th is probably fair.
Does it change if Tony leaves?
I just think they're going to get a lot of money for Tony when he leaves.
Yeah.
And I think that sort of money you can do a lot with.
Yeah, I think they have quite a decent model in terms of signings as well. They do seem to sign some decent players.
A little bit Brighton-like, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit. But I think, 13th place for me, regardless if Tony stays or goes. I think 13th place is pretty fair for Brentford. And who you got at 12th place?
I tell you what, Tony stays, they might get 12th. Tony leaves, they might get 14th.
Okay, around that area. Around that area, I see it.
For 12th is where Everton come into the mix. So it's almost like I'm predicting an absolute, switch of everything. I think maybe I'm saying Dele Alli comes in and has a stormer. Why not?
Interesting. That's a hot take as well. My take is 12th place is Wolves. I think Wolves...
Okay. Well, I'll jump in and say I put Wolves in 11th.
You can do.
We're quite similar
Wolves
there.
have the potential to be good.
Yeah. No, I like Wolves again. I'm a big fan of Wolves.
Do you think the top 10 this year will be really strong and will be a gap? My 11th is Brighton.
Mine's Wolves.
Okay, very close on that. Very close on that one.
I mean...
Yeah, go on.
I just like the Portuguese vibe they had for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And they had the kits that colour as well.
Yeah.
I think they're still carrying some sort of South American / Portuguese / Spanish influence in their their team, maybe their football. I like the vibes, so I'm going. Wolves 11.
Shout out to the media team, some great work there.
Oh,
am I right?
Yeah.
Some good work for Wolverhampton Wanderers media team.
Wolverhampton Wanderers, cameramen, editors, producers, take a bow.
Shout out to those guys. They know how to make it work. My 10th place is where we vary, because you put these down really low. My 10th place is Palace.
Wow, that's a really good finish for Palace.
I think they'll get 10th.
What did they get last season?
I don't think they've ever finished top 10.
12, 13?
I don't think they've ever got top 10 in the Prem. They've always finished like 11th to 7th, well, apart from being relegated. They've always finished below 10th. I think they'll have a good season this year because Glasner will do well. I think they've got a good squad. Maybe hold of Eze. Could depend.
Yeah.
But I think they'll invest it well. I think Mateta.
So they got 10th last year, by the way.
Haven't finished above 10th then. There we go.
My 10th is Chelsea.
No. 10th?
Yeah.
They're not a million miles away from me. I'll tell you where they are soon. But 10th place Chelsea. Go on, tell me.
Last season, 6th. I want to say, I'm going to be accurate here. The season before that, 12th.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The season before that, 3rd, fine. But I think they're in that region at the moment.
Yeah.
12th to 8th. I think split the difference. They're 10th.
I don't think they've invested amazingly. I don't think the amount of money they've spent, the players they've got, are going to set the world on fire. I think they lack a few key players, but I don't think they'll be as bad as 10th. But it would be hilarious if they were. And I respect 10th place prediction.
I'd love it.
I respect that 10th place.
You can see the badge on my shirt. You can see the badge on Sam's shirt. I think we'd both love it.
Oh, we would love a Chelsea collapse. It'd be hilarious. 9th place, though. Who are you going for?
I've gone Brighton.
Brighton, 9th. Wow.
Brighton, I like what they're doing. I like the way they make their signings. I like they're making a lot of money from their signings as well. They can spend at some point. Maybe this is the window. Maybe January's the window. Yeah. But I just think generally Brighton play good football, and I'd like to see them do well. Generally.
Yeah, my reservation
Not
with them
is
if we know how good the new manager is. That's why I put them bottom half, because I wasn't too sure it could go either way with them. My 9th place is Newcastle. I don't see them.
It's probably fair.
I don't know why. I just don't ever see them breaking into the top. I know they got Champions League, but I don't see them as a top 6 side. I put them as a 9th because I just don't think they're going to be amazing. And I think teams above them will be stronger. Who's your 8th place?
My 8th, Sam.
Yeah, go on.
I'm presuming that you're being a bit,
Go on, is it?
Bit dodgy, but I'm going West Ham.
I'm going West Ham as well.
Wow. I think that's a good finish for them.
Yeah. Okay.
I think we look at last season, they got 9th. I think, 8th, it's an improvement. I think they've already made 5 signings, have they?
Yeah, made 1 today as of recording this. Full crew. Somerville was yesterday as well. Some good signings.
I just think generally they've made some signings. I think I'm linking signings, transfer activity to improved performance.
I put us 8th because I can see it going really well or kind of bad. I see a little bit of Spurs last season in this, in terms of a new manager, different expectations, no European football to play, so fixture congestion is not as harsh. We've made some really good signings, but we have got a tough start to the season. We've got Aston Villa, Palace and Man City as our 3 opening games. And
but you're getting them out of the way.
If it doesn't start to click, you're then under pressure instantly. But I think we've made some really good signings. But I do fancy us because of no Europe. This is the first in a few years we haven't had Europe. I've put us 8th, but I think there's potential to do better because we have some really good players this year.
Now, I probably took a different tone with Newcastle in that I actually think they're going to do all right.
You put them 7th?
Because I think we're due a good Newcastle season.
Mm-hmm.
So I've matched 7th. They came 7th last season. I think they'll come 7th again.
Mm-hmm.
I think they've got goal scorers in the team.
Yep.
I think they've got spaces where they need to improve on. I think they're maybe going to look to do some of those improvements, but I don't think it's going to change the whole team enough this year. I could see, if we're jumping ahead to next year I could see them trying to push for Europe.
I've gone Chelsea 7th. I'd like it to be lower. I'm kind of going off the name. I think Chelsea are Chelsea. Does that make sense? Like in your head,
you're going with the fact that they're like a famous club.
In your head,
it's like what I did with Southampton.
You don't really have them going much lower than 7th in your head. Like, they spent a lot of money. They've got a new manager. They've got Europe as well, which they might struggle with in terms of fixture congestion.
They've not got Europe, I don't think. They got Europa Conference.
Which they should win, really.
6th place, I've gone Manchester United.
Ooh, that's an interesting
Already,
one
of their new signings, I believe, is long-term injured.
Yep, centre-half.
I don't think that they've made any massive signings.
Mm-hmm.
I think they've been a little bit stinky, and I think there's that deep-rooted problem within the club. So I'd actually be inclined to put them lower, but I think I've got a case of the Chelseas with the fact that they're Man U. I think they'll probably do all right.
That's not bad. My 6th place is Spurs. I think Spurs will get Europe again. I think they'll do well in Europe this season, / do well in the Cup this season.
Yeah.
They've got some decent players coming through. It might be a bit early for them to start pushing. They've got a couple of young players that are really impressive that I think maybe next year could set the league alight, but not ready this year.
Yeah.
So I've gone.
I do think though, on the contrary of that comment about young players, I think a lot of them are going to play.
You do think,
namely Bergvall, Archie Gray.
Yeah.
I think they're starting a lot of games. It'll be an improvement in the midfield for sure. So, and that I think that's probably where we were lacking a little bit last season. So, I said so that's not impartial anymore. But 5th place, Aston Villa.
Ooh, I've got exactly the same. Does that mean you've got Spurs in the top 4? It does, doesn't it?
It does.
Interesting. I won't get that to you just
yet.
I
might have been being a bit biased.
Villa 5th. But let's go back to
Villa 5th. So they drop a position.
Yep.
They keep European football.
Yep.
I like Villa. I think
they're a really well run side.
Not in terms of I root for them because I don't like them in that way.
Yeah.
But I like the players they have, and I really like Ollie Watkins.
You can admire what they've done because not many years ago they were bottom half, if not they're in Championship, weren't they? Before COVID.
And Unai Emery, I think, is a good manager.
Yeah, Unai Emery has actually changed the club a little bit. Getting Champions League of Villa, the way he done it was unbelievable. I don't think they'll get it this year.
I don't think they'll get far either.
I don't think they'll get far either.
I think they could get grouped.
It's a new format.
If not, they're out in the first round.
It's a new format, so.
Of course it is. Yeah, it's a league.
So they could still get grouped, but they won't make top 4. Who does make top 4 for me? 4th place is Liverpool.
I've gone Arsenal.
Whoa! I've gone Liverpool because new manager. I think he'll do well, but I don't think he'll do as well as the other 3 teams that are in my top 4. Salah. Slightly on a decline. Van Dijk is probably on a decline as well.
Is there a bald Salah prime?
Yeah, maybe, but I don't see it. I think a lot of their players
just beat Arsenal in pre-season. I know it's pre-season, but they beat Arsenal.
But this is a big season for them because a lot of their players are on the verge of leaving, if not being finished. You've got Trent's out of contract soon. Salah's going to go. Van Dijk's probably going to be finished soon at some point as well. If they don't get Champions League, next year could be a disaster for them. That's why I've gone 4th place for them. Your 4th is who again? Arsenal. Go on, tell me.
I think they've had 2 of their best efforts at the title.
Yeah.
And I think that mentally that's going to have had an effect on them in that the first season when they were really pushing for it and they led a lot of the way, I think City caught up with them.
Mm-hmm.
The second time, really pushing, spent some time at the top of the table. City caught up with them. Similar squad that they're playing with this season, and I think the fact that City's done that twice mentally plays on the team a little bit, and I think there's a little bit less belief that they can win the league, and I think that doesn't just drop them out of the league title. I think that drops them a few positions personally.
I think Arsenal will fall. I haven't got them 4th like you have. My 3rd place, however, is Man United. Who's your 3rd place?
I forgot that you hadn't mentioned them. Mine's Tottenham.
3rd, above Arsenal. Wow.
Obvious reasons why I put them above Arsenal, but I do think we're going to have a better season than last season. I think it's 2nd year of Ange. I think it's 2nd year of Maddison, where we hope that he doesn't get injured like he did against Chelsea so early on. I think he is obviously a great player. He showed that in the beginning of the season, didn't show that at the end of the season, but I think, fresh start, no injuries. Because you have to remember as well, we had a lot of injuries at the beginning of that season with Mickey van der Ven and etc.
My 2nd place, won't be surprised. I think we've kind of nailed on who's going to win the league, right? Unless there's some massive surprise. My 2nd place is Arsenal. For the thing I said earlier, I don't think they'll have the mentality to do it.
3rd year in a row. Do you think it's close?
No. I think City probably kind of walk this one.
You don't think it's like a a bunny hop in at the end of the season. It's we need this team to lose and then we win.
I see
you just think it's 10 points or something.
I see second to fourth being close. First being safe with the title with a few games to go is what I reckon. Arsenal was second. Who's your second place?
Liverpool.
Liverpool when is Slot's
I think the post-Klopp era could be all right. I think it'd be an improvement from last season and
absolutely.
the season before.
Absolutely.
I think post-Klopp goes smoothly.
Wow.
I think they've still got a lot of quality. They've got a lot of young players as well. I think they suffered a lot from injury last season as well. And you can obviously hope that doesn't happen again. I think they'll do all right.
That's a big take. And of course, we've got Man City, top of the league.
Yep.
I think they've got brilliant players. I think it'll be a formality season for them. I don't see any team catching them.
Do you think it could be Pep's last season?
I think it will be. Pep's last season. They'll maybe do the treble again, maybe the quadruple, but I doubt it. Quadruple's so hard to do. But I think they'll win the Premier League, hands down. That's what I reckon. Force City.
You see them on your fixture list and you just think, well, we won't bother adding 3 points there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think, their depth is ridiculous. Their money that they spend. And
I think so as well.
You can compete, really.
Let's move off from the table now. Let's go on to a couple of individual awards. Who's your golden boot?
I've got a joint golden boot.
Oh, go on.
I think it's going to be Haaland with Oliver Watkins.
I like that. I
put a number of 23 goals.
Interesting. That's interesting.
So it's less than Haaland got last season.
Yeah.
More than Oli got.
My golden boot is Haaland, with 26 goals.
Okay.
I think
one less than last season.
Yeah, I think he'll have another great season. I think more players on Man City's team will start chipping in with goals. I think Haaland golden boot. Who's your player of the year?
It'll probably go to Cole Palmer.
No, really?
Because I think he's going to drag Chelsea to wherever they finish.
Really? You've gone for Cole Palmer as player of the year?
I think Chelsea generally aren't going to be great, and I think Cole Palmer, he's second top goal scorer for a team that came sixth. So, goal's a goal, mate.
I'm not having that.
I think Cole Palmer's excellent. I like him a lot.
He's a really good player, but he's not player of the year. I've gone for Phil Foden. I think he'll have another great Premier League season for me. I think Phil Foden will be player of the year. And probably best player as well. They probably go hand in hand. Phil Foden, player of the year for me. Who is your dark horse? Your performer that is going to be a dark horse?
I'm going to full send it and say Richarlison.
Oh, interesting. I've gone with a player from the same team. I've gone for Lucas Bergvall. I think he'll...
I mean, he's got a lot of hype around him.
Do you think? I haven't seen many other
So I don't know if he's the darkest of horses.
I haven't seen many other clubs talk about him. But...
No.
What I've seen of him, he looks good. I don't know if he'll start the season, but he'll be into that team for the rest of the season when he starts. That's what I think.
Yeah.
I think he has a really impressive season ahead of him. I think you'll start getting, the Twitter tacticos to start tweeting about him. That's when the PR's good, and that's when he'll have a good season.
What we would like you to stay tuned for.
Go on, tell us what you want.
We're going to be ranking all of the Premier League kits.
We are. Including this new bad boy on my chest.
You might not have seen them all. By the way,
this
is a good opportunity. I don't know that I have. This is a good opportunity for you to see all the kits firsthand and hear our thoughts on them.
So go check that out when it's out. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let us know in the comments below what your predictions are. Premier League table, Golden Boot, Player of the Year, and your dark horse. Obviously, subscribe if you're new around here. Leave a like as well. Share it with your friends. And on that note, I hope you guys enjoyed. Auf Wiedersehen.
Goodbye.